Newsflash: Guild Wars has guilds. Who would have thought? Scott Hawks is here to talk a little bit about some of the guild perks that we've come across here. That I guess you could get in Guild Wars 2, which is crazy that they would actually have something guild related in a game called Guild Wars 2. What do you have?
I tell you, I worry about guilds. I just find in some games lately, guilds just haven't got the sort of like the emphasis on importance. Like to go off on a tangent slightly here, sorry. Like in World of Warcraft, like the looking for raid system, you don't need guilds as much as you used to in a lot of MMOs. So when I was looking at Guild Wars 2 and the huge amount of information that came out over the last week, I looked at the guild system and it just looks so robust. There's so many different facets to it. It's just really intriguing.
So what you're saying is that guilds in other games aren't quite as guildy as it can be.
I like my guilds very guildy, and Guild Wars 2 is very, very guildy. That's the right. Yeah.
So you talked about influence. So tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, influence. It's your basic sort of way of earning perks. The guild perk system in World of Warcraft that came in the last year or so. It's along those lines, but it just there seems to be more variety to it. Basically, every time you do something, you can earn influence. But if you're in a group with a guild team, you'll earn much more influence, a lot faster. So it's incentivizing that interplay within your guild.
Right.
And then once you have your influence, you've got a system called a build queue. And think of Star Wars: The Old Republic's crew skills, and the way you have to put something in and then wait a while for it to be made.
Right.
Now, think of like a mix between that and Eve, where instead of like waiting 20 minutes or an hour or two, you might have to wait 2 weeks.
Woo.
Yeah. You can reduce the build time through spending and other things, but what it means is you have a real sort of, it's not just grinding for influence. You have choices to make. What kind of guild do you want to be? Do you want to spend it in the Art of War category, which is the WVW and PvP category? So if you want to be a PvP based guild, then you're going to start front-ending your choices in that area. If you want to be just focus on expanding your guilds, banks, and things like that, you're going to spend it in architecture. If you want to get funky insignias on all of your guild's weapons, so when you're running around, you all look like, you coordinate. It's important to accessorize well.
You're going to put those points in unemployed artist.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, you want to all look snazzy together. Isn't that nice? You'd put
Look at
that
your
into
scarves. They're amazing.
Yes. Oh, everybody, you all got your backsides kicked, but you look great doing it. So you put that into like politics, and there's politics, economy, art of war, and architecture. Your 4 areas to spend your influence on, and it all adds to the idea that being in a guild matters, and you can do things like go into WVW and you can take over a keep and plant your flag and say, "Hey, look at us, we did this," and then you can use your influence to buy better fortifications to hold that keep within the WVW map. So there's a real sort of option towards the carrot end of incentivizing being in a guild, and it just seems there are a lot of tools to help a guild leader make their job easy by saying, look, working together is something you're going to want to do rather than something I'm going to have to sit there with a whip and make you do.
Right. Interesting. I mean, I guess it would kind of make sense for the guilds portion of this game to be fleshed out to be obviously above par, right?
Definitely. When you look at so many aspects of this game so far, I mean, I know we just do seem to gush about this game constantly, but
this game sucks. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, don't tell anybody. That's a secret. There's just so many aspects of this game when you look, you just go, well, that makes sense. That makes sense. Why hasn't that been done before? That makes sense. Now, I'm not saying that the guild sort of like system is revolutionary or revolutionary in the way it's put together. I think most of this has been done before, but it's all really smart, really well put together, and well thought out, all in one package that really looks robust and to make playing in the game much more enjoyable.
Right. Yeah, I guess that kind of makes sense too, and especially when you have like this kind of persistent war going on, that you'd want to have every good feature that you can either you've created or that you've been inspired by another game.
Yeah, well,
in
I'd
here.
say the one thing that I think is different is how easy it is to be in a guild. Like in other games, you know, you kind of, if you're in two different guilds, you pretty much keep it a secret. You know,
Right.
but in this, you can be in lots of different guilds at the same time, but you represent one guild at a time, which is basically like the WVW home server system we talked about in an article the other day. So it's each time, right? I'm in all 5 guilds, let's say, and I'm in this guild for PvP, and this guild because I like just to hang out, and this guild for questing or raiding or whatever. Well, you know, big interactions. But I'm only actually participating with one at each time,
Right.
and then all the influence that I earn goes to that guild. So
Interesting. So you
yeah.
so essentially, what you're saying is I could be a guild whore if I want to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
That
It's
sounds
encouraged.
good. That's about my style right there. Nah, I'm everybody's friend. What are you talking about? No, I'm here to help you out, bro.
Well, you know, there's a lot of us to go around.
Stay tuned to GameBreaker.tv for more Guild Wars 2 information, and we'll see you guys later.